Yo, what's good, Ninja? OJ over here from Player Essence, and welcome to another video. Today, we've got some great information for you guys, so let's go ahead and get right into it. And we are starting off with the Nintendo Switch and some Japanese sales. We got some good news because there's been over 5 million Nintendo Switch games sold in Japan just this year alone, which is absolutely incredible if you look at it compared to all the other systems on the market right now. So as of July 22nd, 2018, so a few days ago or so, over 5 million Nintendo Switch titles have been sold at retail in Japan. So that doesn't even count like the online and count like the digital and all that stuff, but 5 million retail games in Japan alone this year. This number comes from the Japanese sales tracker, the Media Create, the company that releases sales data for Japan alone for the retail market. Okay, every single week, every Wednesday, we do have reports on the Media Create. Make sure you check them out. Just look them up here on the channel. Just type in Media Create. You'll see all my reports that I do. Now, here is the more impressive thing that I think, just because this is before some of the bigger, heavier hitters come out later in the year. We've got Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, which is going to sell like crazy in Japan. And then we also have Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. And I think a lot of people are forgetting that there is Super Mario Party this year as well. So those three titles are going to be huge sellers, with Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee being bigger than Super Mario Party. But don't count that game out. That could be a massive seller. A lot of people are looking at the last Mario Party games and what they've done and like, okay, well, those didn't do so well. But this one is bringing in online play. This one is bringing back the classic type of Mario Party gameplay. It looks smooth. You can finally play with your friends online. Doesn't have the full board game mode, but at least they have like that mini game rush mode that you can play online. So that is actually really impressive. That's actually really impressive that they've been able to hit that in this first half, because really all they've had in terms of like bigger titles are like Kirby, that was earlier this year. Then they also had, what else? Donkey Kong, that was okay title for Japan. They have Mario Tennis Aces, that's doing okay. But a lot of last year's games are continuing to sell really well. Splatoon 2 just continues to sell like 20,000 copies plus. I don't think I've ever even seen it go below 10,000 units in Japan. It's since day one. That game has just been crazy. So it's really cool to see how well the games are doing in Japan. Nintendo pretty much dominates there. We know that every single week. Just the sales numbers are just off the charts when it comes to the percentages and how much of the market Nintendo has compared to the other companies there. But they're really the only company that's trying in Japan as well. So you also have to factor that in. Microsoft and Sony, not so much. But even if you look at some of the bigger hitters, like let's say, for example, like Monster Hunter World, that was on the charts for about 5-6 weeks or so. Then it disappeared off the top 20, where you still have games that were released last year on the Nintendo Switch on a smaller install base that are still in the top 20 every single week, with like Legend of Zelda and Mario and Splatoon and all of that. So you have to look at it that way too. Nintendo's even beating out, in terms of long-term sales, even beating out some of the huge, biggest IPs in Japan, like Monster Hunter, Final Fantasy, and Dragon Quest, which is also not on the charts anymore either. So what do you guys think about the Nintendo Switch selling over 5 million Switch games in Japan for the first half of the year so far? How much do you guys think they're going to do with the second half with Pokemon and Super Mario Party and also Super Smash Bros? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Alright, and moving into the next topic here, the Nintendo Switch online codes are available for pre-purchase on Amazon US. So the Nintendo Switch Online still has a little bit of time before we get it here in September, but before it fully launches, you can pre-order the codes on Amazon US. Now there are two options to pick from. You have the 12-month membership, and then you also have the 3-month membership. Now Nintendo Switch Online, once again, this September, we don't have an exact date in September, it's just September. But knowing Nintendo, I think it's going to be the very end of September. No, I'm joking, I don't know when, but I would think that they would probably want to launch it at the very beginning, just so they can get that full month's worth of sales or whatever the case is. For the 12-month membership, it will cost you $19.99. For the 3-month membership, it will cost you $7.99. So obviously the 12-month membership is the better deal. It's only $20, whereas the 3-month membership, Not so much if you're planning to have it for more than 3 months, because you're already spending $16. If you spend another month, you only get 6 months, half a year, compared to the 12 months for $19.99. So you definitely want to pick up the 12-month if you plan on continuing to play games like Splatoon and also Mario Kart and all of that, because I'm pretty sure you'll need it for most of the games here, although not every game will need it, but I'm pretty sure most of the games you will need it in terms of first-party Nintendo games. And I also think that like Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Super Mario Party, those are all going to be games with online play, battling, and all that. So you want to make sure that you have it for that as well. We'll see what shakes down with like third-party games. We still need to get details on that. Games like Paladins, that just went free to play, so we don't know if it's going to be able to use that or if you have to have it to use that, or even like Fortnite, because Fortnite's an interesting case, because I think like on Xbox, you don't need, or Xbox, you need Xbox Live in order to play Fortnite, whereas on PlayStation, I don't think you need PS Plus to play Fortnite. So that is a very interesting type of thing here. So it's based on the, I would guess, the console manufacturer, whether they say, okay, you need it or not. So I don't know. I'm thinking Nintendo's going to go the route of PlayStation with this one, and they're going to say, hey, you're not going to need it for Fortnite in terms of the membership, but we'll have to wait and see on that for the free-to-play games. And in terms of other third-party games, we'll just see if it actually needs it for other stuff as well. Maybe Nintendo's just saying, hey, this is just a first-party thing. We just don't know at this point. So I've gotten a lot of questions on that. People asking whether you're going to need it for certain games or free to play or third party compared to first. We just have to wait. And I'm guessing that Nintendo has to have some type of presentation or something closer to September or in September saying, okay, this is what the online is. This is exactly what you're going to be getting. I mean, they've detailed enough stuff to say, okay, whether you want to get it or not. I mean, most of us are probably going to get it because you want to play Splatoon and all that, but they kind of need to detail a little bit more in terms of what games are going to use it or not. And even then, they might not just say anything and just wait for the games to launch or whatever the case is. But there definitely needs to be some more details kind of revealed about this, any other features that are going to be added. I would guess just there is going to be some more features. Maybe they kind of tinker up what they're doing with the voice chat and things like that. So we'll have to wait and see. I know it's a little bit frustrating for some, but at the same time, you know, just enjoy the games, enjoy the free online play for now, because it's going to cost money in a bit. And that's what I'm doing. I'm enjoying the free online gameplay where I can just boot up Mario Kart or boot up Splatoon or boot up any game, just be able to play online for free. You know, I don't mind using Discord, but that's just me. Obviously, everyone has different circumstances and how they like to interact. So, what do you guys think about the Nintendo Switch Online codes in terms of the pre-purchase? Have any of you guys already copped you guys' purchases for it? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, and moving to the last topic here. Now, the Hori D-pad that just launched in Japan, it seems like it's having problems. So this is the controller, one of the Joy-Cons that you can buy. And instead of having the split kind of D-pad that the regular Joy-Con has, it actually has a fully functional, regular, standard D-pad that you're used to. And everyone's like, okay, cool, you know, maybe you can take a little bit of a trade-off. It's not that expensive. Obviously, you don't get HD rumble. It's missing some of the features of a regular controller in terms of the left Joy-Con, but you get that nice D-pad. However, it seems like it's causing some issues with the battery drain. So essentially, when you put this thing on there, it just drains the battery. Even when the system is in sleep mode, it's draining the battery. And you have to remember, if you're playing a game, you know, on the Nintendo Switch, some games, battery life might not be the best when it comes to it, and that D-pad is just draining everything. So there's a couple different warnings that the company has put out, Hori has put out there, and saying, hey, like, just disconnect it for right now. We're looking into the issue. Maybe we can have an update or something that can help out the controller, but for right now, if you do import it or if you do have it, just make sure that you disconnect it, because it will drain the battery even while it's in sleep mode. So, and it's draining the battery quite a bit, even not in sleep mode. It's just draining the battery bad. So that's the last thing that you want, is that you're playing a game and like the battery is getting drained more than it already does. If you're playing on the highest brightness settings and you have the Wi-Fi on and that Hori D-pad is in there, that battery's shot for most games. If you're playing like Zelda, if you're playing even like Octopath, I've noticed quite a bit of battery can drain on there. So you don't want that happening, because the battery life is precious, and obviously you might not be around an outlet or something to where you can charge charge it. So just be careful, guys, when you import this, or just know that it is having some problems right now at this point. Now, I don't have any numbers or anything in terms of how fast it's draining or anything like that. I tried to look up some of that from what's going on, but it just seems like it's just draining it faster than what it would normally have. So just have to hold on. We'll get more information in a bit. And if you're going to pick up one of these, just make sure that you understand that that is an issue right now and they're working on a fix. But for all intensive purposes, it does work exactly like described. It is a good D-pad to where you can play the 2D games and everything without having the problem of the split D-pad that the Nintendo Joy-Cons usually have. So that's cool if you don't have, like, let's say a Pro Controller, or you're trying to play in portable mode, which this is pretty much what the thing is for. It's for portable mode, obviously, since you're holding it right there for portable mode. So let me know you guys' thoughts on this whole scenario, and if you've got your hands on one of these already, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Alright, Ninja, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and check out the links in the description below. We got Facebook and Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on our social media. Really helps us spread the content of Player Essence across the internet in addition to YouTube. Also, make sure you check out our Patreon, Twitch, and YouTube live gaming pages, and consider supporting Player Essence. When you do so, it gets you access to all sorts of cool benefits, perks, rewards, and emotes via YouTube sponsorship. So check out the link in the description below, and consider supporting Player Essence right here on YouTube. Hit that like button if you did like this video. Lets me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to Player Essence for latest RPG, Japanese, and Nintendo gaming news. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you, Ninja, for the next video. Peace!